Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And we actually get 4 videos with the Lumberjack today. I appreciate that. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing awesome, Mike. I'm so excited we actually get to squeeze 4 in because I think the other 3 were awesome. So I'm excited to talk about this one too.
Yeah. So this one is really about your story. So folks, if you don't know, I released a new book called 15 Conversations with Real Estate Millionaires. I purposely hid the names of the people because I didn't want, if I was going to put the names in as an author, I would be incented to put in the biggest names possible. I've interviewed some pretty big names and I didn't want that to be the reason. Plus, most importantly, I spent 3 months storyboarding the different stories and I wanted them about the stories, not the people. However, the next book I'm working on, I'm going to celebrate my experts. And that means I'm going to name them. I'm going to give them props. They're going to get their pictures and all of that stuff. And as one of my experts, Matt, you are going to be in the book. It's the first chapter. I shouldn't even say chapter. I've just started rereading our first interview. You remember that, whatever that was 6 months ago?
I do. I remember hovering over my my horrible webcam because it had a horrible I had a horrible microphone. So yeah, I remember that. I remember that quite well. And then I was like, and then you were like, let's do this every week. And I was like, that sounds awesome. Let's do this every week.
There you go. So again, I'm just going back to your story, right? And I want to talk about kind of 3 things that people are going to love about it. The first one, obviously, is you start from humble beginning, right? You weren't set up for success by your own choices. They were self-made, right? No, nobody forced you or did any of these things. They were self-made. And yeah, the humble beginnings will be a big part of your story. So you want to hit that and do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, 9th grade dropout, I made it super easy on myself to be successful.
Oh yeah, all 9th grade dropouts just rocket to the moon. Yeah.
Honestly, Mike, I've been doing this now for almost a year. And my very first 9th grade dropout reached out to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Somebody who literally also is a 9th grade dropout, and they're also doing property investment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I had to feel good.
Yeah.
Kindred spirit. Now there's 2 of them.
I was going to say population doubled.
Yeah. Population doubled. That 100%, baby. That's awesome. So yeah, again, humble beginnings.
Yeah.
And then the other one was, you really talked about the struggle in the beginning. It's hard for everyone.
Really hard.
It's particularly hard for a married man.
Yeah.
9th grade dropout.
Yeah.
And I still remember, we've joked about it a couple of times. Your reward was the $1 menu at McDonald's.
It was. Yeah. I mean, and now I splurge and I get an entire value meal. But yeah, it's it's true.
Yeah.
But I can afford the kids. Happy Meals. But yeah, I mean, that was our treat. We really had almost no money. We certainly couldn't afford to go out to dinner.
Yeah.
And so, going out to dinner, that was about as much as we could afford. And it was, we would get out of McDonald's with drinks, fries, and some burgers and nuggets and things like that for less than $10. And that was it. And so, yeah, I mean, it's like you and I always talk about, there are very few people on earth who wouldn't take our lives now.
Yeah, agreed.
But there are very few people on earth that would take our lives then.
Yeah, that's the deal, right? Even if you know where the party ends, very few people want to go through, in my case, 15 years of sacrifice, literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, nope, I'm not signing up for, I'll give you 1 or 2 years. No, 15.
Yeah.
1.5, not 1.5.
Mike, I'm going to put 6 months in. And if I'm not seeing results, I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Like, I'm not going to fight for you to be my competition.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay. Like, give up. That's fine. More for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really super hard. And I think that, it's great. And I'm psyched on seeing some people adding properties as quickly as they are. There's a concern on that for me.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing people add properties that quickly. Because I think that you start to miss some of the details, on things like that. And I think that there are shifts coming. I think that there are changes in the market coming. I think all of those things. And I think that slow and steady wins the race. And I know for both of us, over the course of the first, decade that we were doing this, or first, 7 or 8 years we were doing this, I think you acquired 7.
Well, yeah, that's my very next point. We both got to quote unquote the peak of the market. We didn't know it was the peak, but we both had 8 units, right? That was a very similar story.
Yep, exactly.
I did 1031 exchanges out right before the crash. You kind of held and ate it for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah. I ate it for a long time. It was,
Yeah, it was rough, right?
Yeah. I mean, literally the economy blew up in that September of '08. And within 3 months, I had 6 of the 8 units not paying any rent.
Ooh, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a super good time. And the good thing is we all know that what the economy was doing then, like
Oh, yeah.
I still had my annual quota.
Of course. Oh yeah, they didn't adjust that. No.
No, yeah, no. The only thing that adjusted was how much clients were spending, and that disappeared.
Yeah.
Pipelines
blew up. Yep.
Yeah, pipelines blew up, and so yeah, it was super, super, super hard. And then it was like I remember saving up to have to save up enough money to evict somebody.
I remember that. Yeah.
So yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah. So again, the other thing I took from the story is how important house hacking is. It's again not something I've done. It's why you added value to the course, you and Dion. But yeah, house hacking 4321. I'm still convinced that more and more people need to take that seriously. Right. Frankly, if it's good enough for Grant Cardone, it should be good enough for all of us. Right. He sold his big pad in SoCal and downsized for a little while. It's great for Anna Kelly, went from a big house in Texas to a fourplex. It's just more people need to take it seriously. And if you're young and it's your first property, I mean, if you're not in the 4321, you're doing it wrong. It's just,
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that will change lives. That will change lives. I still believe that 2, 3, and 4 unit properties are going to be the greatest asset increases in the next 5 years. I think it's going to be so different than any other asset. I know you love single family homes. I just think that's going to be tough. I think that's going to be a tougher market. It's going to be I think it's going to be a tougher market with narrower margins in the next few years.
No question.
And in states like mine that have no income tax, so Florida, Texas, New Hampshire, I think Nevada, single family homes for us, because of the affordability index.
Yeah, property taxes.
They've been impossible. Mike, I had property taxes on a property go from 450 to 570 in 1 year.
Oof.
And we're taxed. And that means the tax bill on that property goes from 9,000 to 11,500. That's $200 a month.
Yeah, that hurts. Yeah, they're going to get you some way. And in tax without income tax, property tax is often the kitty they go for.
Have to.
Yeah. So then the other thing I realized in the conversation, really with some other ones, is time in the market, far more important than timing the market.
Yep.
It just comes through, right? 2 guys have been doing it 20 years. We didn't really start reaping the rewards until year 7, 8, 9, 10. And then and the beauty is once you start doing that, it compounds.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. You started out with the cash out refi once every 3 or 4 years. And then you get to year 10 or 11. You're like, oh my God, I could do that one. I could do that one. I could do that one.
Yes. Well, at that point, you're not picking if you do a deal, you're picking which deals you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's a complete life changer, right? To go from if you can do a deal to which deal you're going to do. And then more recently, I'm sure for you and probably the last few years for me have been groups of deals.
Yes.
Like having, I remember a time this year when we had we had like 4 closings in 6 weeks.
Yeah. It's, yeah. And really what I hope people are going to take away from your story, because that's going to be the part of the next book is, again, everybody struggles. Everybody starts. Yeah. It's really hard for everybody the first 3 to 4 years. But you can do it. I mean, that's, again, I've read our interview 2 or 3 times. Now I'm kind of, selecting parts of it, but yeah, it was a great story. And again,
thank you.
Congratulations. It's not a lot of people, again, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's got to be less than 2% that it could have done what you did, given what you owned it. You set yourself up for it. So it's a pretty cool story.
I hope, I certainly put myself behind the biggest 8 ball I possibly could. And so I hope that other people just recognize that life isn't nearly as hard as they're making it. It certainly can get easier. Life is hard, generally speaking.
Yeah.
If it were super easy, like I swear, this is where I'm kind of excited about. I would love a bit of a correction, because at parties, I wouldn't be having to listen to everybody that doesn't know anything about real estate talk about it. And I think that I want to encourage people. I want to encourage them that the system as constituted today is not going to get you to an early retirement. It's going to make you part of the rat race for the next 45 years.
Yeah.
And
that was my big aha, is the rat race is real, right? I
so
freely
real,
admit,
man.
I didn't understand until I was 30. I was raised to go to school, get a good job, make a lot of money, and buy nice stuff. That is the rat race. And I didn't see it till it smacked me in the face. Yeah.
Have you thought about, the one thing that I would tell people that I think was the most important was delayed gratification.
Yeah. Need that evaluation at 30. Because again, going from spending 100% of your income to spending 50 is all personal choice, needs versus wants.
That's right.
That was not enough people appreciate that $99 course I have that you're a part of as well. Or Get Your Money Right.
Yeah.
They all want to look for deals and learn a market and all the sexy stuff, but there's a foundational element that people aren't looking at, but it's okay.
Yeah. You got to get your money right. You got to get that's where we started with, a number of our students, as we talked to them about, you're never going to get there the right way if you can't get your money right here. You got to start off. You've got to, getting rid of bad debt, consumer debt, and those types of payments that eat away at your savings. They eat away at your ability to create, more cash flow.
Yeah. Yeah. The image I have in my head, and I haven't quite worked it out yet, is everybody's on the shore and you have your boat. Your boat is your financial health. If you haven't got your money right, you are drilling holes in the boat and then you're putting it in the water. So yeah, maybe you can bail out the water as fast as it come in, but eventually your bad habits of drilling more holes, you're done.
Yeah.
And that's where I was at 30. I went my first job out of college. The numbers will be wrong, but close. I think I made 32 grand. And again, I'm old. So this is like 95, 96. So let's see if I get this right. So 23-ish, let's say 24, I was making 30 grand. We'll use round numbers. By the time I'm 29, I'm making 120 grand.
Okay.
So again, on an income level, that went up 400%.
Yeah.
However, my spending habit went up 400%. So I was drilling holes as fast as I could. So it didn't matter that the income was more. I was freaking spending it as fast as it came in. And believe me, I was living okay on 30 grand a year.
Yeah.
If I could have let my lifestyle expand to maybe 40 grand a year and save the 80, I could have been done at 35, not 45. How dumb was I?
First contract I ever signed was for 18.5. I was 19 years old. It was 18.5 a year. Yeah, that was living tight. 18.5 a year, and that was in 1998.
Yeah,
it was 18.5 a year. And I mean, again, like you were saying, and I've actually been in a boat I had a boat. I used to do a lot of water skiing. I put it in the water for the first time that season, and I forgot to put the drain plug in.
That's not good.
No, that's not good. So I didn't put the drain plug in the back. And so we're literally sitting there and I feel the boat. I feel a little bit of like, wow, like what's going on with the boat? And it wasn't happening when we were running, but as soon as we stopped, it's filling up that boat. And I'm like, oh my word. I was like,
what do you do? I have no idea what you do.
Literally, you turn on the motor and you start running.
Sure.
Yeah. You're like, I gotta get this thing going because the drain plug's literally in the back. And so the only time that fills up is when it's underwater. When you're full throttle, you're pressing, you're bowing the water like this. And we literally had to land on shore and then we had to pump it out like a couple of idiots and then put the plug back in and be like,
oh, now we can go back in.
Now we can go skiing again.
Yeah, that is a perfect example of your financial when you don't have your money right. It really doesn't. People talk about all this income. Dude, if you don't have the foundation right, you're done. You're done. It doesn't matter. You're done. Yeah. Was it Nicolas Cage made like $500 million and he's freaking broke? It doesn't matter how much you make.
The list is long distinguished. 80% of the NBA.
Yeah.
Right.
5 years or
of the
6
NBA
years
within 5 years of retirement is gone. You look at Wesley Snipes and Nicolas Cage and one person after another. It's because
lottery winners.
Yes. Oh my word. Lottery winners are the worst example.
Yeah. It's not good. Not good.
Yeah.
So folks, please get your money right. Take the time, learn it. Yes. Yeah. So thanks for the time. How can people find you?
11:30 a.m. Eastern time this Sunday. Join the Real Estate Palooza. It's an awesome live cast. We go 3 hours, your questions, my answers. And then you get to, and people like to ask questions that they know I'm going to have to give an embarrassing answer to. So,
oh, I like it. What was the most embarrassing answer or question?
I think there was one, I think it was about the deal where I said it was totally embarrassed. And they're like, so why didn't you think of blah? I was like, why didn't you think about structuring it this way? Or why didn't you think about, talking to them or something like that? And I was like,
because I'm an idiot.
Because I'm an idiot.
It happens. We all get
like, I was just like, I said, honestly, I'm going to feel that one. I've literally driven past that house 20 times since I lost that deal.
Were you able to try to save it or is it gone?
So I reached out and I've just not got, I've gotten no answer back.
Dark. Yeah.
No joy.
Gone. Okay. All right, buddy. Take care of yourself. Enjoy Sunday.
Thanks, Mike. Take care.